Yesterday I downloaded and watched The Invention of Lying, starring Ricky Gervais, and I found myself cheering. Not because it's a great movie, it's not. It's mildly amusing at best. No, I cheered because for the first time ever I saw a movie that took the conceit that religion is a lie as a starting place. It was assumed in the film, and everything built on that premise. This never happens in American cinema. Take the movie Bruce Almighty, for instance. In that film it was assumed that God exists from the very beginning. The character Bruce is critical of God, and God challenges him to do a better job. God's existence is never doubted. The same is basically true for the George Burns film, Oh God. God exists in these movies as a matter of course. When we watch movies, we are asked to accept certain premises. Through the wardrobe is a portal to another dimension that serves as an allegory for Christianity. In the future, mankind will have developed a method of traveling through space to distant worlds where humanoid forms abound, and we can couple with these alien races sexually, often producing viable offspring. The Founding Fathers had access to the treasures of the Templar Knights and hid clues to its hiding place on historic documents. Yet in general, the idea that there is no supernatural realm and anyone who tells you there is, no matter how noble his or her motivations, is a liar, is never put forth. Yes, there have been movies about specific conmen preachers. And yes, there have been movies about religions other than Christianity having merit. And yes, I have seen movies lampooning Christian dogma. But this is honestly the first movie I have ever seen that says, look, there's no man in the sky. Believing there is one is wishful thinking and gullibility of the worst kind. But the suggestion that there is no God is not what made me cheer. No, what made me cheer is the fact that someone finally had the balls to make a movie challenging believers to be offended. Not that no movie has ever been made that the maker knew would offend believers. The Last Temptation of Christ was offensive to Christians as a novel long before Scorsese ever brought it to film. But what sets this movie apart is that it's not offensive, and still has offended cultists by simply daring to assume a world wherein the idea of God has never been, except by a liar. Gervais himself said in defense of his movie, "One of my favorite films is It's a Wonderful Life, and at no time am I offended by the suggestion in this wonderful work of fiction that there is a God. And that is always the case, both in fiction and reality. I'm not offended when someone blesses my sneeze, but that same blesser might be offended if I wish him Happy Holiday rather than Merry Christmas. Why the double standard? When I sat down to watch, I had no idea this movie had at its core the suggestion that religion might be lies made up to comfort people, but that with that comfort also comes inevitable logical inconsistencies. Had I known, I'd have watched sooner." That said, in my own opinion, this movie does not actually say that there is no God. What it says is that all claims about God should be examined. It says that none of the claims we hear could not have been simply made up. It says that blind acceptance of religious claims does not benefit the believer, nor does it make life better. And it says so in a way that both is entertaining and thought-provoking without being shrill.
This is the greatest movie ever made.